everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Padel Pulse podcast powered by TSH Padel. Cuello and Tapia remind everyone, you, me, all Padel fans around the world, that they are the kings for a reason. And if you're a Chingalan fan, do not worry, you still have a chance for them to end as world number one. It's spicy. They have the lead. The Dubai P1 said Cuello and Tapia's name all over it. We were Chingalan, Haroon, but Cuello and Tapia reminded you, me, and everyone out there that they mean business, and they do not stay down for long. They're the champions in Dubai, a convincing straight sets win. Your thoughts on Cuello and Tapia getting revenge and taking home the Dubai P1 title?
Oh, they defended their title, huh? Like, needs to be clear. They defended the title. They love Dubai. Like, this is a city where they had success before, and they have right now they're creating a dynasty in Dubai, so to speak. Well, actually, they're doing it in multiple cities as well. But this is an amazing team. Like, and we forgot maybe a little. We wanted to forget because the Chingalan greatness was starting to shine. We wanted that maybe something is something is not right with these guys. But these guys are absolute kings, right? Like, just assessing the number of amazing highlights that happened not only in this match but throughout the tournament. Like, Tapia and Cuello were coming up with unbelievable shots, and we're definitely gonna get into that because it's gonna leave you speechless. How in the world are they doing these things? Cuello and Tapia came today like they meant business, like they didn't want Chingalan to feel like, oh hey, we're gonna become the world number ones, we're gonna start to dominate now. They tried to shut this argument completely. They were so focused today, by the way. Like, I thought Tapia was unbelievable. Yeah. I thought Tapia was like there was some sixth sense, like in Mozart, like he's an artist, a magic magician. It felt like the ball had a relationship with his racket. That they signed a contract before they started this match that all the shots were gonna go his way. 17 winners, 10 unforced errors, 6 assists. Like, there was unbelievable today. Like, they were really shining.
Tapia, Harun, let me just correct it. Tapia was 15 winners. 13 unforced errors and 6 assists.
That was
17 and 10 was Cuello.
That was Cuello. So Cuello was unbelievable, was smashing it completely today. But today I felt that Cuello and Tapia like really steamrolled through everybody this entire tournament. So they were much more rested. They only stayed on the court for 3 hours and 53 minutes heading into the final. And they only dropped 23 games before the final as well. And by the way, Cuello and Tapia never won 3 tournaments without winning a title. So this is something that they never went they never played 3 tournaments without winning a title. Can you comprehend what this means? Like, yeah, there's no such thing as a losing streak, as not a losing streak. It's a they can't lose 3 losses in a row. Essentially, that's what it means. So which is unbelievable. And also they can't go go through 2 consecutive indoor tournaments also without winning a title, which is crazy, by the way, which means that they're indoor assassins, so to speak. And like, yeah, like they're the world number ones for a reason, guys. They proved it time and time again, but they proved it today, and they proved that today that when they're on, when they're focused, when they're really like doing the unbelievable crazy shots that they did today, that they feel unstoppable. Like winning straight sets against Chingalan, they have the confidence, they had the momentum, they went on a win streak for so long. So we felt that, these guys are the underdogs. So, which is wild to say about the world number ones. But today they proved that they're not underdogs. And don't you dare think of them as underdogs going into a next match. Yeah, it was unbelievable, guys.
No, but they actually were underdogs, because according to our polls on TSH Padel, 56% had Chingalan winning this final. So that is 100% true. They shifted the focus and the momentum. And we talked about Chingalan, how they were able to change everyone's minds into thinking now they are the favorites. And Cuello and Tapia said, not so fast, Smite. And here they are, champions again of a P1, a big tournament. You know, they didn't get done in the FIP World Cup, which is, I think, really big for Chingotto and the conversation for us as Padel fans overall. But they were able to take them down. Your thoughts on what you saw from Cuello and Tapia today? You had them as the champions. You saw this coming in a way. It happened.
Well, I just go back to the way they ended the FIP World Cup pairs tournament. There was like a very warm embrace after. And, they always talk about after the losses that the hugs are longer and you're more positive. And they're not maybe as visible and as energetic as Chingalan, but they're such a good team together and they have such good leadership alternating between both Tapia and Koyo. They trust each other very well. Yeah. And it did not look like it was going to go their way, right? Because they were down break point in that first game. Yeah. Actually, Chingalan had their chances. I'm like, okay, maybe they really have figured out Koyo and Tapia. Maybe they really have their number now because it looked like we're going back into the same momentum and that they were going to build off it. They fight off that break point in that first game. They rebound and then they break right away in the second game. And then they have the break. They have the advantage. We rarely ever see Koyo and Tapia lose when they're ahead. They are such good steamrollers. Well, lately, in the past 2 matches, but in the set, at least in the set, rarely do you see them go and lose while they're ahead in the set. They usually take it and run away with it. And, it felt like they just had all the momentum go their way. And I loved what I saw from Tapia today. He was a much more proactive, aggressive, upfront Tapia, and he was masterful from defense. No one turns defense into offense like Tapia, and it's unbelievable what he's able to do. He does not get enough credit for how well he does that. Koyo, again, found his footing. He was not as flustered by Chingotto. I thought he was able to bother Chingotto a lot. I think Chingotto, I felt like he was off the entire match, especially in the second set. And then I looked at the stats, and I saw 15 unforced errors from Chingotto. I'm like, okay, that matches my eye test because I really felt Chingotto was not his best self. And, even in the big points, it felt like the error was often coming from him. And I don't like to blame Chingotto for that because he's so fun and he's so consistent. But Koyo, there were too many mistakes coming from Chingotto's racket, Yusuf. And, Galan as well. But I felt like Chingotto also, lots of mistakes from his side. Tapia's smashing was also excellent today. Yeah. They were on it. They didn't give any room, again, to Chingalan to mess around. Yeah. And this time, they made sure if they got ahead, they closed it. So I really like that type of, proactive, aggressive attitude they brought to the game today. They needed that. Yeah. And they needed this win big time because the world number 1 conversation was going to absolutely shift in Chingalan's direction if they lost today.
Yeah, it was going to go from either, if they lost, it was going to go to a 280-point lead. We're at 1,080 now. So, which is
huge difference.
It's a big difference. It was a critical win. But, going back to Koyo and Tapia, they were on it from the first match of this tournament. You felt something was different. I watched every single match they played. And they're always dominating, right? They make it to the final every tournament, basically. But I felt something different. I felt they were on their game in a different way. I felt like they wanted to show themselves, even though sometimes they don't need to bring out that 100% ferocity that they have to bring out against Chingotto and Galan. But it was out there from the very first match to the very last match, as we saw. And you got the very best of Koyo today. You got the very best of Tapia today. And when you get the very best of those two, God be with you. But you don't have a chance, even if you're Chingotto and Galan. And, add on to that, Chingotto and Galan, as you said, they both had bad days. And that's because Koyo and Tapia were absolutely suffocating them and forcing them. They were taking control of the match. They were proactive from the very first point to the last point. And one of the big things for me this entire match was the lapse of focus that Koyo and Tapia had this entire match was for 45 seconds in that first game. And that's when they got that break point. And ever since that, I think that those 45 seconds, they did not look back, and they were laser focused from then till till the end of the match. And that's all she wrote. It was over. It was over from there. They were on a different level. They were focused to a level that they can't be unfazed. They were unfazed. And that's what you get. You get straight sets win, you get dominant win, and you get flustered Ali Galan and a flustered Federico Chingotto. How many times do you see Federico Chingotto and Ali Galan back-to-back return serve errors?
No, that was... Let me comment on that. That last game that they lost to lose the match, there were 3 return of serve errors. Exactly. 3. They lost the game at love. 2 in the net
back-to-back, and then the last ball, let me just say, the match point smash by Agustin Tapia was iconic. Anyone who plays paddle knows those super high lobs to make perfect contact,
the arc,
to hit
the arc,
smash,
I'm telling you,
the arc on it, Haroon, and for it to go over to Galan the way it went up,
it went to the heavens.
to close out a match, it really was. I think it was underrated to how iconic that match point smash was from Agustin Tapia.
His arc is unbelievable.
But that just shows you, to your point, the smashing where it was today from Cuello, and especially from Tapia. And this was a big redemption for him, because going back to the FIP World Cup pairs,
his smash was off.
And
both of them, but especially Tapia.
But Tapia more so than Cuello. It was completely off. And boy, did he turn it around. And he always points at his head, right? And after the match, he also was telling Cuello, he's pointing at his head. It was a mental thing. This was a mental win for them more than it was a physical one. And here we are. They are comfortably ahead in the race for the world number 1 throne at the end of the season.
I don't know comfortably. It's still up in the air, Yusuf. We're going into a major next 2,000 points.
We're going to talk about that, but as it stands, it's completely different than a 280-point lead.
Yeah. But it's not, I wouldn't say comfortable. It's still tight.
Yeah.
It's still very tight. And I also want to say, I don't know if I've seen Cuello this vocal in a match in a long, long time. Like, you could tell, like, he wanted it really more. Like, both of them were very vocal. Yeah. Like, Tapia is usually very calm. True. So is Cuello. But, like, today they were...
From the very first game, they were screaming at each other.
Yeah.
And if I'm on the other side of the net, and Tapia is screaming from the first game...
Yeah. That's intense.
And Cuello is being the bully that he is in the first point of the match. Okay. Every time we say that Chingotto and Galan, they got punched in the face, Harun, right? They got punched in the mouth, but they were able to come back. This time they got punched in the mouth. An uppercut came, a right hook came, a left hook came, and it was good night, sleep tight, knockout.
Actually, Chingalan, they punched first because they had break point.
But
then it came back swing. Cuello and Tapia came back swing.
It wasn't a punch to me. That was like, that was a fakeroo. And then but the guys that actually punched were Cuello and Tapia.
Yeah, they
and
punched.
they did not look back, and here they are.
Yeah, but they learned from their mistakes. So the last 2 matchups, it felt like when you arm wrestle and it's like down, and then Chingalan just completely snap that back and they find a way to come back. I felt that today they wanted to avoid any light. Any light of day for Chingalan to feel like they could come back. So that's why they were sometimes so aggressive. Like all the smashes they were hitting felt like they wanted to jump on the other side from how aggressive the energy that they were playing with. And now it's 8-4. They're head to head, where they're also a comfortable lead with the head to head now. 18-9 over the entire matchup against Chingalan and Cuello and Tapia, and 10 titles of the season.
But they needed this one for their confidence. They needed this one big time for their confidence. That's the biggest thing.
And the streak continues. So
the past 2 matches.
And the streak continues where they can't go 3 tournaments without winning a title. They can't go 3 indoor tournaments without winning it as well. So that's an unbelievable streak that they're continuing as well.
Yeah, no, this was a really important win for them. And, in this tournament, I saw the beasts that they have inside. For some reason, the beasts were asleep. Even though they were fighting and it went to final sets, all these past matches that they played against Chingalan. But I didn't see, like you said, I didn't see that beast inside Tapia out really in the matches before. Cuello I saw, but not to this extent. The beast came out and the beast conquered. So absolutely special performance from this entire tournament from Cuello and Tapia. Here they are with the lead. They're back on top of the world and champions again. It's been a long time for them. To their standards, it has been a long time since they were champions. But we saw them conquer the world in Dubai. Moving into the Mexico major, it's going to be very, very interesting. But guys, I do want to say one last thing about Chingotto and Galan. And I really believe that Chingotto and Galan are amazing teammates and maybe the best teammates we have on tour. And Smile, I know you hinted at this last week, but especially there was a point in this match, in the semifinal match against LeBron and Stupa, and it got interesting in the second set. And Chingotto this entire tournament, he was smashing and doing crazy things. And even Galan said he was smashing as if he's Cuello. But then he was tried to playing outside his comfort zone a bit, going too much. And in the changeover at 6-5, and then Galan told Chingotto, I just want you to be you. That ferocious player you are, the competitor you are, the fighter you are. Just be you. I don't want you to be any more, any less. Just be you. And lo and behold, right after that, Chingotto came out 6-all. He took over that game. And then in the tiebreak, he also took over, and they ended the match in the tiebreak, moving on to the finals. And that was just a reminder of, like, you know, Galan just telling Chingotto, just be you. That's a microcosm of what they have shown us ever since they teamed up with each other. I don't care about outside noise. I don't care about anything. Just be you, Chingotto. And that's exactly what happened. He believed in him, and he was able to close out that match against Stupa and LeBron. And the positivity that these guys display on a daily basis, Smile, really, as you said, I love it. I continue to see it. It does not change no matter what. I have never seen a negative face by either of them.
They're great.
It's
They're
an
great
absolute
partners.
joy to watch, and it's a privilege to see it. And I love to learn from it as a person who plays paddle. And any young player learns from it. Any old player, anyone who plays paddle looks at them and says, "Okay, so this is what it means to be a perfect teammate. I need to strive to be like that." I don't care if you're playing amateur, if you're playing competitively at a young age, if you're on the professional tour in any sense. They're role models in that sense, and I love that they continue to display that in the highs and in the lows.
Yeah, and that's the great leadership of Ali Galan, and he showed that every step of the way. He's such a great leader on the court.
Yeah, I saw it. You talked about it last time, but really I saw it again this tournament. I just wanted to point that out again because it deserves to be mentioned every time we see it. But, you know, before we move on to other very interesting conversations, we have new teams coming. I can't wait to talk about this. Mm-hmm. But before we move on, Haroon, Smail, need to ask after this tournament, Smail, let me come to you. Who is your MVP for the Dubai P1?
He brought a special version of himself to this tournament. You knew he wasn't gonna be denied from the first point of this tournament, like you said, and all throughout this match, he was the man. Like, he was doing everything it took, from offense to defense to converting into offense. Precision with the smashes, the aggression, the unbelievable creativity and touch. He did it all. He brought the ferocity. Agustin Tapia is the man. 15 winners, 6 assists today. He takes the cake for me. He was by far, I think, the man of the match for me.
Okay. Man of the match or MVP of the tournament?
MVP of the tournament and man of the match.
Okay. Haroon, who is your MVP?
I share that sentiment completely. It's Agus. It's Agustin Tapia, El Mothart. He is the magician. He is the magician when he's on, when it clicks, when he's focused, when he's having fun, when he's vocal, when he's into the match. He's untouchable. He's untouchable, and you can't teach what he does. You can't teach what he does to somebody like Galan Cuello. They can't learn the same things that he does. So that he's just unbelievable. And today that was an example of showing how great of a player he is. He's MVP, man. He's MVP for me.
Yeah, I think it always comes down to Agustin Tapia. Are you going to show up? Yeah, I know the past few times it was Quay, but Quay usually shows us something close to his best. Agustin Tapia sometimes doesn't, and I sometimes criticize him for that. But today, and this entire tournament, Agustin Tapia was in a different mind space. He wanted this tournament badly, not only for points, not only for the FIP race, but just for pride, to show who he is. And he showed everyone yet again that he is mentally, when he's in there, he is levels above. He showed at this tournament, he is my MVP also. The ferocity, as you talked about, Smail, he led them from an energy standpoint. And obviously, he led on the court as well. So my MVP, your MVP, Haroon's MVP, unanimously, is Agustin Tapia for the Dubai P1.
Yeah, amazing. Amazing. He deserves it. And isn't it? What a joy it is to see August play at his best. Like, it's so fun.
Yeah.
It's so fun. In the meantime, guys, the battle for world number 1 is still extremely spicy.
Yes,
and Chingalan are still in the mix. But Agustin Tapia and Koyo right now, they are advancing a bit more towards that end goal. Right now, we sit at Koyo and Tapia. They have 16,300 points. Chingalan are at 15,220. We have a 1,080 point difference at the moment.
Yep.
But we're going into a major where 2,000 points are on the line. And then we have the ATP, the Barcelona finals, where then we're going to have another 1,500 online. So this can all change by the time the year is over. Yusuf, what do you have to say about this race so far? And is it slipping away from Chingalan?
It's slowly slipping away, yes. But, by the way, people that do not know, and if you haven't seen, as it stands, so don't fault me if this changes by the time you watch this. Galan and Chingotto are signed up for the FIP Platinum in Veracruz, Mexico this week, which has 300 points.
Does that start tomorrow?
It starts, yeah, but the qualies are going to start, and then, so I'll give like 3 days or something, and they're going to be playing. So that tournament is happening. They are signed up. It's an absolutely stacked tournament. If you want to watch paddle this week, live paddle, tune in to the Veracruz FIP Platinum going on. Super Pibes are back there. Lots, Bergamini, Leal, everyone's playing. So in that standpoint, they have 300 points, so they can cut that lead again to 780 points, and then we're moving into the Mexico Major. If they win that one, by the way, this might be a Galan Chingotto FIP World #1 race lead by the end of the Mexico Major. So this is very much alive. If you're a Chingotto and Galan fan, this is very much in play. It's in your hands. If you're able to win out, you will finish the year as world #1. Cuello and Tapia, same exact thing. If they win out, they're world #1s. But it will, as it stands, go down to the last tournament of the season.
Haroon, do you think Cuello and Tapia are worried, or do you think they're feeling confident right now for this year and world #1?
Cuello and Tapia should be worried. Yes, should be worried. If you just lost twice to Chingalan in the last 2 tournaments, yeah, you should be worried. This gives you a sense of relief, a sense of confidence also, okay? We made the lead a little bit bigger right now, but I think you should be worried for sure, because Chingalan, that's their goal. They made it clear. They made it public. That's what they want to do, and that's what they're going to continue to work for. So Cuello and Tapia have a lot to lose. They have a lot to lose. If they slip away there, then I think Chingalan might come on top. So it's going to get to go down to the wire, and I think that absolutely... yeah, that Mexico Major is going to be fire. Because I think that if Chingalan find a way to win that tournament, then I think that Cuello and Tapia, yeah, I don't think that they're going to get the year-end #1 in the end. I think it's going to go to Chingalan's side.
Ooh, okay.
Well, I think the fact, Yusuf, you made such a nice point about this Veracruz tournament. I think what the Veracruz tournament does is that even if Chingalan don't win the Mexico Major, this Veracruz tournament still puts them in play, I guess, going into the Barcelona finals. Like, it does give them like a mini buffer that they still might be in play if things don't go.
Yeah, because if
way.
they lose, it's over.
Yeah.
It's going to be, if they don't play Veracruz and they lose Mexico, it is over.
Yeah, so they need that buffer, at least to keep some hope alive in the Barcelona finals. So
they're spreading themselves really thin now.
They are, but
back-to-back tournaments here, and then they're going to go to right away, fly to Mexico. But they're fit.
Yeah,
they're fit.
I think the issue is with the travel, because they're going to cross the Atlantic, and then it's going to cause the time zones and the jet lag. That's what really punishes athletes the most. But they're on a mission. We saw they're on a mission. They're going for the world #1. They want it, and I think that they're going to do everything they can to get it. And I think they're fit enough. They're pretty automatic when it comes to playing these early round matches. They just stop with Cuello and Tapia usually. So I'm not too concerned about the mileage.
Capra and Goni gave them a run for their money in the beginning of this tournament, but they were able to find their footing, and
But also, guys,
I think it's also
they have some more points maybe together, because they lost in the semifinals last year to Stupa and
makes no difference. Makes no difference.
Yeah, no, it doesn't make a difference because of the race and because of the difference in points. But I'll say also, I think it's good for them to get familiarized with the conditions. Because, Mexico has also different conditions and get used to the setting.
Ball will be flying.
The altitude there in Mexico. This is going to be a different type of game we're going to see in Veracruz and that we're going to see in Acapulco.
Yes.
The story is going to be different, my friends.
Yeah. All right, guys. This is an amazing team that we've been playing for a short while. It is Javi Garrido and Garrido-Campagnolo. Guys, your thoughts on this surprising team? Yusuf, what do you think about them?
This is not a surprising team because Garrido-Campagnolo and Javi Garrido have history of great success. Go back to 2021. This team was in the final of a World Padel Tour tournament in Miami, able to take down LeBron and Galan at their peak. So Garrido-Campagnolo and Javi Garrido, at their best, they're able to take down everyone. And what they did in New Giza, taking down Stupa and LeBron. And then they lost a tough one in the FIP World Cup pairs against Momo and Fran. And guess what? They took revenge in Dubai. And then not only that, taking down Yanguas and Nieto, and then going on to playing amazing match, by the way, against Cuello and Tapia in that semifinal where I think everyone wrote them off. I love this partnership between Garrido and Campagnolo. Not only do I think they might be the fittest team that we have on tour, might be some physically strongest team we have on tour. I love this story for so many different reasons. But the main reason I love this story is because Lucas Campagnolo and Javi Garrido were not in the positions that they see themselves to be at. They were both in the low, they're falling, they're not able to fight for deep runs in tournaments. And Campagnolo had a bit with Gala, but Garrido did not have it whatsoever. But here they are. They were able to team up together and find the magic that they found not only once. They played with, this is their third time together, Arun. And they're able to find magic. They're able to find their best levels again. You can see it on Campagnolo's face. He's crying after the win. You can see it in Garrido's body language. Yeah. He's flying. He's jumping. The emotions that they are able to recover their level again. And you know, for an athlete, it might be depressing when you can't find your level and when you see all your hard work and you're not able to find the rewards in the end. But here they are ending the 2025 season with some amazing wins against the top of the top. And they are back to their best. Campagnolo and Garrido are going to have something to say from here on out. I hope they continue to play with each other going into next season. But it's an amazing story. It's an amazing redemption arc after what we saw from the beginning of the season to where we are now. I'm a big fan of the team. So happy for them. Love to see what they're doing.
Yeah. What do you think, Smail, of this amazing team, as Yusuf says?
Yeah, you know, it's so fun, Harun, because Javi Garrido, I'm so happy for his success, you know, because he was gone. And despite him he's really a top player. Like, it was a shame to see his dip in level and his lack of confidence that he was suffering from. And I think this was a reminder just how much of padel is a team sport and it's built on emotional dynamics. Like, he had a choice to partner with technically higher ranked players. Maybe you would call them better players, but he left them all to go to Campagnolo. You know, Campagnolo's ranked in the 30s. That's not necessarily not going to give him a top seed, you know. But he went with a player he's comfortable with and he has good chemistry with and that they get along, and it plays a complementary padel style to him as well, because he needs someone so aggressive, you know, and like a racehorse kind of like Garrido. He needs a workhorse next to him, and Campagnolo's that. Campagnolo is steady, cool, calm, collect, and fit, like you said. So I like this pairing from an emotional team point of view and also from a padel tactics point of view. Yeah. And Harun, my question now is it completely off the table that they get into the last 8 in Barcelona? Is it off the table completely?
They could go on a magical run, maybe in Mexico. Maybe if they go play Veracruz, also get some points there. Maybe if all goes well, if they may go deep, maybe a semis or something in Mexico, I think that could play a role. But assuming, hopefully, everybody else loses as well, so they don't get points. But yeah, maybe it could happen. You never know. You never know, because things are starting to spice up. But this team, by the way, guys, this team has been showing great results as of late. Like that win in New Giza against LeBron and Stupa to kick those guys out of that tournament, which was a big win, by the way. Also, this tournament in Dubai, they've been playing a lot of grinding matches. Like, they dropped 37 games, which before they went into that semi, which is a lot. Like, you dropped 37 means a lot of matches are going down to the wire, and they haven't won a title before, actually, so they haven't won a Premier Padel title. Garrido's a player that you should have, we expected him to have the same trajectory as Yanguas, so to speak. Like, when he was with Yanguas, they were up and up and up, and they were starting to find great levels. And they thought, okay,
major finalists, Soro, and taking down LeBron and Galan.
Yeah, but we expected Garrido also to take the next step, like Yanguas is also taking the next step. Like, Yanguas solidified himself as a top four team. Like, if you put Yanguas with anybody, that's at least a top 5, top 4 team. And we thought Garrido was going to be right there. And his journey's kind of been a little bit clunky since then. Like, he went with Bergamini, started to find some success there, and then he left, and then he went with Tino Lebac, and then things weren't going so well, and then so it hasn't been a
Dineno
great.
in the beginning of the season.
Sorry.
Dineno in the beginning of the season.
Sorry, Dineno in the beginning of the season. Yeah, good thing you reminded me of that one. You expected them to be a great team and have great success, but it didn't really work out. And then you went with team.
Because it's also about chemistry and pairing and emotional dynamics.
Yeah, sure.
Then you need to this thing. Like, we forget how much of that's important in paddle. We keep learning. It's so important.
Yeah.
These guys have been through it together, by the way, because they fought, and the way they ended one of the partnerships, and they publicly on social media were outing each other. Like, this team they have lots of history. But sometimes these things, that's what, when you mend those issues and you find solutions, it actually makes you stronger than ever. And look at them now.
Are you saying there's hope for LeBron-Galan?
Yeah, but
El regreso, Harun, your favorite thing.
actually, by the way, guys, this is a funny thing. I don't think Regreso is gone. But let me say a final point about Javi and Lucas. By the way, they beat Fran Guerrero and Momo Gonzalez, who is also a great team, Yusuf, that you love as well. They beat Koki Nieto and Mike Yanguas. Amazing team. They beat Maxi Arce and Pablo Lijo, who beat Javi Garrido, Javi Leal, and Lucas Bergamini. So they had some great wins, guys. And I think that Lucas Campagnolo, by the way, is a great player. Nacho Porto, by the way, if you guys remember, said that that was his pick as the most underrated player on tour. So, by the way, he's a great player.
I am becoming more and more of a fan of Lucas Campagnolo as I watch closely, and we got to watch him live during the P2 in New Giza, and amazed at his level really is special. He has a sick bajada, but man, physically, remember Yanguas, he talked about physicality. Physically, Lucas Campagnolo is up there with the best of the best.
Man, his legs are trunks. He's huge.
Shoulders aren't like
Dude's huge.
He's gigantic. He is built like a superhero. Well, guys, Garrido and Campagnolo, it's a fun story. We're really happy for them. But you know what? There's a new story that's coming to town, and we've been waiting for a few weeks for this finally to come to life.
Finally it's happening.
Everyone has been waiting for this to happen. If you're a paddle fan, there were murmurs about this. It has finally happened. We talked about this 2 weeks ago. But next week, we are going to see Juan LeBron side by side with LeBron-Augsburger at the Mexico Major. So before we talk about what's going to happen and everything in that tournament, let me ask you this. Juan LeBron deciding to team up with LeBron-Augsburger, not in general, but now, with only 2 tournaments left, was it the right move or was it not the right move to move now? Smite.
Yeah, 100% it's the right move. I've been calling for this move since last year. I've been telling you, this is the only play for LeBron so that he can play the play style he wants to play. Supa's amazing. He doesn't match LeBron's style, nor does he match LeBron's energy. Like, they're just on 2 different frequencies. He can't handle LeBron's crazy. You know who's going to handle LeBron's crazy? Augsburger. He matches his intensity. He matches his aggression. He matches the play style he wants to play. And no, this is perfect timing if you ask me. We're going into Mexico, Yusuf. The altitude is wild up there. They're going to be firing from all cylinders. I don't know if I've seen LeBron smash as good as he's been smashing in Dubai right now. Yeah. This might be the best he's been smashing all year, and you need to make this move as soon as possible because you want to give yourself a best chance. You want to give your best chance to beat the top players. Get some matches under your belt against Tapia, against the Chingalan, against the Super Bibas. Let's get them under. Let's go through the lumps, and let's go into the offseason with some experience already because we want to go for world number 1. Leo wants world number 1, and LeBron wants world number 1. He's going to be out of his prime soon. He needs to maximize every single moment. He's still in his prime, and he still is. LeBron is. And it's going to be so interesting to watch, but no, the timing is correct.
Harun, is the timing correct?
The timing is close to perfect. I think that this is right where he wants it because you talked about this before, Yusuf, where you wanted LeBron-Augsburger, to go up in the rankings a bit so he doesn't have to carry him and play a higher seed in the early rounds. So now Augsburger is in the top 8 by himself. Augsburger earned himself a spot in the Barcelona Masters finals So he doesn't need to really use his ranking points to bring him up. So they're going to be comfortable in the draw.
He is going to need to use him. Arun, Stupa and LeBron were a seeded 3 team.
True.
They are now going to be. LeBron is now going to be seeded 5. That's a fact.
True, fine. Maybe they might suffer a tougher quarterfinal where they might face either Ching or Quay and Tapia. But still, to me, this is not a problem. Like, the draw was never a problem to me for if you're an elite player, because you want to beat the best players. If you're a tier 2, tier 3 player, then maybe you want some easy chances to go deep in the draw. Fine, great. Yeah. Find somebody that can make you sneak into deeper to find a better path. But if you want to fight for world number 1, the draw should not matter for you. And in this case, now they're in a good position where they have good ranking points. But still, the quarterfinal, semifinal, you're going to want to beat these guys anyway. And that's where Augsburger is now fighting for world number 1. He could have done that with Cardona, but then they broke up that project. But now they're closer to fighting for world number 1. And LeBron wants that title of becoming world number 1 so bad. And that's his last move. Samaya's only move. To me, it's the last move. If he doesn't succeed with Augsburger, he should call it quits. But because there's nobody else.
Call it quits.
There's nobody else in Premier Padel that on tour that could match the level of insanity that LeBron tries to play with. And by the way, I think that this is great because they get a few tournaments where they feel like we kind of have a little bit of a season under our belt, so it's not starting from scratch. And then they'll have a few tournaments, and then off season, and then here comes the danger, baby. Here comes the danger. Everybody should be afraid, because if it was just starting the season then and starting mid-season or whatever, then they didn't really find their footing, didn't really find their form. But this is where they have a few tournaments under their belt, and then they're gonna feel, now, okay, we tried some things. Now let's go into the lab and prepare to take down these big dogs who are gonna have to be afraid with this team. So to me, it's a great time to match up, and it's gonna be a dangerous team.
Yeah, I agree. This is the perfect time for them to pair up. In fact, 2 tournaments, it's like 2 free tournaments, because they have nothing to fight for. LeBron's not trying to be a top 2. It's far away now. So you're going to stay where you are. You have absolutely nothing to lose. And like you said, they have 2 tournaments to find out who they are. And I think they sat down, they're like, okay, the goal is by the end of the 2026 season, we want to be year in world number 1. And this is a long-term project, long-term relative, but that's a long-term project. So they want to see where they are by the end of next season. So this is a great way for them to begin to understand each other. And they're both excited. And, like you guys said, they both are hungry for more than what they have. They do not like that they're losing this early in tournaments. I think Augsburger's still learning that, but LeBron, he said himself, he's like, semifinals to me, making finals relative occasionally, that's not something I'm okay with. I'm not okay with that. And Augsburger is going to be a person that's going to be side by side with him, and he's not going to be okay with it either when LeBron is right next to him. So
and he's not going to be intimidated by LeBron, Yusuf.
No, he's not. So it's a perfect time for them to team up. I think this was smartly planned by these guys to move back together. And 2026 is going to be interesting, but they will have something to say before this season ends.
They will,
because interesting conditions are coming up that works very well for a team like that. And let me say, Ismail, Juan LeBron is playing some of the best paddle he's played all year. And can we just shed some light on that match between them in that quarterfinals? Because it was probably the match of the tournament, Harun, in Dubai. The fact they were going all the way to final set 7-6 in the final set between, we talked about this, Ismail said, you said Augsburger is going to show up. Harun, me and you said LeBron is going to show up, and he wants to show who he is. And that's exactly what happened. LeBron showed up. Augsburger showed up. He did make more mistakes in the end. Well, yeah, but he's a young player. But they both showed up and showed. It was like, I felt like even though LeBron is a right side player, it was like two beasts going at it. I'm going to smash. You're going to smash. I'm going to be the alpha on my team. You're going to be the alpha on your team. And let's see who's going to be able to out alpha the other. And then you're like, these 2 guys are going to team up with each other in 2 weeks' time. Oh my God, it's going to be super interesting. It was so fun, so funny. Also in the beginning, remember Stupa went over to the other side. Let's just switch teams now and play on the other side. So yeah, it was funny stuff from Stupa there. But that was an amazing match. If you haven't watched that match, by the way, please go back and watch it. It's, for any paddle fan, it's an absolute joy to witness what those guys put on the court that day. But it's a good move. We all agree it's a good move. Let's see what happens going into the Mexico Major.
All right, guys, let me ask you this. Who's going to have a better end to the season? LeBron and Augsburger or Super Pibes, which is Dineno and Stupa? Smail, who do you think that is?
That's such a good question because right now, going into Mexico, the conditions are going to be so different than the conditions in the Barcelona finals. So, like, it's so different worlds. But I'm a big fan of this LeBron-Augsburger team. I believe in Augsburger so much. I told you, I really believe Augsburger is the player that LeBron can play the style he wants to next to him. Even if he doesn't have the chemistry that the Super Bibas have, they have the upset potential to take down Chingalan and Tapia potentially if that moment should come. So I'm leaning towards LeBron and Augsburger. I just believe in them. I think they can do it. I think they have that alpha. They have the hunger. It could happen in Mexico. You never know in those first tournaments when these players team up and you don't know. Opponents are not going to know what hit them. I'm leaning towards LeBron and Augsburger. I think they can do it.
Yusuf, who do you think? It's going to be Super Pibes or Le Burger?
It's a tough one because Super Pibes, they have the history, right? And LeBron and Augsburger, first time playing with each other. But they have a gap here to be able to play with each other. I think they've been practicing with each other probably recently, and Stupa and LeBron were just playing with each other tournaments. So I think LeBron and Augsburger definitely have the higher upside. And I'm going to say that going into these last two tournaments of the season, LeBron and Augsburger will outperform Stupa Pibes also. It would be really nice to see them play in the quarterfinals in Mexico. That would be cool. I think
is that on the table?
Yeah, it's 3 and 5.
Ooh.
These guys might be in the same path in Mexico. They might meet in the quarterfinals, so that would be interesting to see.
Winner goes to the semis.
Yeah, exactly. So LeBron and Augsburger being a 5 seed is not good for the people that are even above them. You know, not only below them, above them. So yeah, but Harun, I'm gonna say Augsburger and LeBron are going to have a better end to the season than Super Pibes. But I do love the Super Pibes coming back to each other. It's a team that I think all paddle fans love.
Yeah, I also agree with you guys. Like, I think if this was a case where Augsburger was younger, maybe where he's a little bit more raw, but he's here. Like, Augsburger is here. And Augsburger changed partners many times, and he's having the same success. So it's not like something where he needs that much chemistry. Augsburger just needs a play. He just needs him to let him roam. Let him go free and let him play. And also, LeBron, the same thing, super smart player, and it's more mentally, if he likes the player he's playing with, then he's gonna play amazing. So although the chemistry situation there with the Super Pibes is great, but Super Pibes were switching up because they needed some spice and they didn't have it together. Maybe when they come together, they'll regain and reignite that spark and spice together. But for now, I'm going for Augsburger and Le Burger to have a better end of the season, guys.
Let's go, vamos. I'm so excited.
No, I can't wait for the Mexico Major. Really, I cannot wait. I'm so happy these guys did these moves because, you know, in the same way Chingalan found a way to take over this Cuello and Tapia rivalry, like, this is also fresh blood into the system of the paddle tour. This is what we love about the sport. But, guys, let us know, who are you with? Are you with the Le Burger having a better end to the season or Super Pibes? Let us know in the comments. We love to see what you guys have to say and all your opinions. But, guys, before we move on to other stories, we need to talk about some of the craziest shots that we saw this tournament, because there were some insane shots. And let's do an interesting new segment here where we break down some of the best shots that we saw all tournament long in Dubai. So to start off, Smail, give me one of the shots that you were wowed by at this Dubai P1.
I don't know what's going on here, but it seems that Tolito and later Tapia unlocked a new shot here in Padel, and that is the smash block. What in the world is going on? Agustin Tapia is known to have the first or second best smash on planet Earth. And Tolito, found a way to block it. Look what happens here. Tapia winds up. He's about to hit an insane kick smash that we know is going to go sky high to the heavens. Tolito blocks it with a backhand volley, as if it's a bajada, as if it's just a bandeja, like a regular volley. He just blocks that. What in the world's strength does he have so he can just block it like it's a normal, routine backhand volley? This is Tapia smashing at your face.
Backhand also smashing. Backhand.
Backhand volley. Oh, that's why I said it, because it's much harder than the forehand block. That was wild to me. And he did it in the point after. But also he won this point. He blocked Tapia's smash, and then he went in for the winning volley right after. It was not just a cool highlight. He also won the point. It was a winning play. I have never seen that before. I don't know if I'm mistaken. I have never seen such an amazing shot. I never saw a smash block. I never saw Tapia smash block like that.
You know, when that happened, I think that unlocked something in everyone's minds. Like, we can actually block that? Can we go in and block it as a volley? Is that an option?
Yeah, wild.
Because someone else decided to take that exact page out of Tolito's book, Haroon. And do you know who that was?
That is Agustin Tapia. What the hell is happening? What is this padel madness? It's like you said, he just planted the idea, that inception of an idea in his brain. Oh my God, I can do this? Okay, I'm going to do this. Let alone, Agustin Tapia decided to try Tolito's tricks on Galan's smash. So this play that Agustin Tapia is serving, and then and Chingotto decides to return that serve to Cuello. Cuello returns it back, that volley, and then Chingotto plays a very nice lob to the corner of the court. So Agustin Tapia is really in a corner, and he's playing a very high lob. Galan thinks, wow, this is a nice opportunity for me to decide to whip and crush this ball. And it was a great smash. It's coming out of his racket. It's a great smash. Let alone Tapia decides to return it with a nice, easy forehand volley. And then Galan returns it back, and he crushes that ball back, and with an insane arc of a smash from Tapia. What the hell is happening, guys? This is absolute madness. I couldn't believe what I was watching.
I didn't know this shot exists. I didn't know this shot exists.
I don't think Tapia knew it existed until he saw Tolito do it. And once he do it, he's like, I can do it. That's an option.
I can block Galan smash
But
like
you know,
a volley.
but also, like, just a disclaimer here, Tolito Aguirre and Agustin Tapia might be the two most talented people on a paddle court anywhere in the world. So stay safe, my friends, and do not put your wrist in that position, because it might break.
Yeah, I don't know how they did it. I don't know.
Because we've seen a Galan smash live.
Yeah.
And that is a weapon. Not a weapon, it's a weapon.
Yeah.
In general.
Guys, is this gonna be something where they're gonna go, okay, we're gonna practice volley smashes today, okay? let's go today. Let's do a basket of volley smashes. Send for the volley, just return my smash.
I do believe it's now going to be a thing.
I think so.
It's now like, we can't allow this kick smash to touch the ground.
No, you can't.
It's time to volley.
It's the tactically correct move.
Yeah. And we saw Tolito won that ball. Tapia won that ball.
I can't believe how well he blocked it. How well he volleyed. He really blocked it like it was a routine backhand volley. It's wild.
And like, he knew what he was going to do. He blocked it in the transition zone, came in, took a forehand volley, finished it down the middle.
Unbelievable.
Oh, just insane. But you know what was one of the craziest shots that I saw personally?
Yeah.
Because give me Juan LeBron, El Lobo, gave me one of the craziest sequences I have ever seen on a paddle court. Because Leo-Augsburger goes for an easy smash, and unluckily it hits the fence. And you know, whenever the crazy smash hits the fence, it goes sky high. And LeBron began running outside doing an exit. By the way, I still struggle with exits. I feel discombobulated whenever I leave the court. And he goes and he runs outside, and the ball hits the top of the fence on the side. And then it comes down, and he's able to barely, pop it back in a very nice way. By the way, people think he just popped. No, he popped it back in very nicely, where Dineno and Augsburger, they're standing there. They don't know who's going to take it. And then, okay, what do we have? The only option is lob. So they decide to lob it. And LeBron's watching it. You can see him from the outside. He's looking like, okay, what are these guys going to do? And then they decide, okay, they're popping out the lob. And LeBron, being the extremely fit, the extremely talented, the extremely physical beast that he is, and high IQ, he runs back in. And the lob, I am not kidding you. If you look, he is going to take that ball from at the service line. And anyone in that position is be like, okay, I just got this exit. Let's reset the point. Let me put the ball back in play. He decides to set his feet and go, boom, give that baby a kick smash from heaven. And I'm going to lay this smash all the way over LeBron-Augsburger, who I would say is one of the best or the best finisher when smashes come to him when he's at the net. And it's over LeBron-Augsburger, over the skies, finishes the point from an exit where he's completely outside the court to run back in, set his feet, hit the smash over LeBron-Augsburger and win the point and end the game. It was one of the craziest sequences that I've seen because when I'm standing inside the court sometimes and I get an easy lob, I don't even set my feet properly. He came from outside the court, went behind the line, decided to smash over LeBron-Augsburger, won the point, won the game. Juan LeBron, El Lobo, craziest point you can see by a player, extremely athletic, extremely physically talented. And oh my God, did that blow my mind.
It was awesome.
Last one in these shots of the tournament that we saw in Dubai. Need to talk about this one. You know, we talked about Tapia's insane defense. Well, how about this point right here, where he's going toe-to-toe with Javi Garrido and Garrido-Campagnolo. And in this span of 30 seconds, you're going to see some of the craziest shot ever. First of all, volley to volley, and then the ball goes behind his back. We've seen this one before. Backhand, it's a backhand volley from behind his back. Then he's sent back to play some defense. And what does he do? And then the ball goes to the back, and he smacks it contra pared off the glass, chiquita, over to Javi Garrido. And then the ball goes back. He can't recover in time. And then he goes for a tweener off the glass. And I'm thinking by this time, Javi Garrido and Garrido-Campagnolo are thinking, are you kidding me? This point should have been over long time ago. How many times are you making us hit a ball back? And by the way, to the point, Garrido-Campagnolo got an easy ball on his forehand, put it in the side of the fence next to Cuello, and that's just to Tapia's credit because he had them flabbergasted. They didn't know what to do. He showed us insane defense in the span of 3 balls that he hit. He hit everyone. That was insane. Great defense by Tapia. Just insane overall. Absolutely love this point to remind us of how amazing of a defensive player that Agustin Tapia was. Amazing shots of the tournament. Amazing shots that we saw from all these guys. And let's see what happens in Mexico. And I can't wait to see more of these.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah. Let us know what you think of this segment. Do you like the shots of the tournament segment? If you like it, we'll do more of it. If you don't, maybe we won't. Although we did have fun doing it.
Yeah, we did.
It's fun to keep track of these.
Yeah.
But we also have some really interesting news in the paddle world, in the journey of paddle, getting to the Olympics in 2028, or at least in 2032. We just saw that FIP has announced that paddle is officially recognized by the Olympic Council of Asia.
Yeah.
And it's going to make a debut in the Asian Games. So paddle is officially recognized. Yeah. And we are now one big step closer to paddle in the Olympics.
Yeah, everyone wants this to be an Olympic sport. We all want it to be an Olympic sport, and this is a great step in that direction. Can't wait to see the growth of paddle. Like one of the great things I love about what we're doing is that we're getting to witness something from it being a baby and eventually growing into this. I think it's going to be such a big sport in the world over the next 5-10 years. And this is a big step towards that happening.
It's awesome. We're right there, Harun. We're almost at the Olympics, Harun.
We're almost at the Olympics. It's going to be great because everybody loves paddle. And it's not just a sport where, sometimes you have sports where people play, but they don't watch. Sometimes you have sports that people watch but don't play. But this is a sport that people watch and play. So it's going to be nice to have that combo to see and also enjoy also with more countries and grow the sport. So we love the sport and we want it to grow. It's a great step. And let's see what comes next.
Yeah. Can't wait. Hopefully we get there. Hopefully we get to see paddle in the Olympics soon enough. Very nice step in that direction.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, we had an amazing story unfold on the women's side in Dubai, where we just saw Bea have an unbelievable match, her and Claudia Fernandez, to take the Dubai title, to down Delphi and Gemma in the final. Yusuf, your thoughts on what we just saw from maybe your favorite player?
This is my favorite player on the women's tour. I love Bea Gonzalez. And let me just start out by saying, Bea Gonzalez is going to be the undisputed best player in the world. And that's going to happen. She's slowly getting there. She has her peaks. like this tournament, but it's going to happen. I'm so happy for her. Like the fact that she takes down Ari and Paula in the semifinals with Claudia, and then goes on to take down Gemma and Delphi in the final, taking down the number 1 and number 2. Number 2s that were on an absolute tear, and then beating Gemma and Delphi in convincing fashion. You know, Claudia, by the way, wasn't her best in the semifinals. She was good, and we can touch on that. She was good in the final. But Bea Gonzalez was on a completely different level, and I do believe she carried Claudia Fernandez to this tournament win. And I'm so happy for her. You know, she had a tough loss last tournament, and here they are able to bounce back. They're still lacking the consistency that we want to see from players that are capable of becoming world number 1. This team is capable of becoming world number 1. They just haven't shown the consistency. Extremely happy for them. I love this team. I really do love this team. Probably my favorite team on the women's side. And another big tournament win for them. They need it. Let's see going forward, can they stay healthy, end the season on a very high? Because, you know, when they're healthy, they are contenders. No one can stop them, as we've seen. When they're at their best, nobody can stop them. Gemma Triay and Delphi Brea do not have an answer for Claudia and Bea. We saw it. We're going to continue to see it if they're going to stay healthy. But absolutely love this win for Bea and Claudia, my favorite team on the women's tour.
Yeah, Harun, that was a fun one. I mean, did you see this coming from Bea and
No,
Claudia?
I did not. And by the way, you said that nobody has an answer to like they don't have an answer to Bea and Claudia. You know who does have an answer to Bea and Claudia? Ari and Paula. But Ari and Paula lost.
They did this
so
time.
actually, Bea Gonzalez and Claudia Fernandez took them down. So they took down 2 of the best teams of the world back to back. Semifinals, then final. So that was a phenomenal title run, by the way. Much deserved. They didn't win a title in more than 2 months ago, but this was quick work today. It lasted an hour and 30 minutes, an hour and a half, and that 6-1 first set, it was amazing. Like, they were playing great. Gemma and Delphi, I didn't think they played that bad. It was okay, but they started to fight to get a little bit more in the second set. But then, but I want to give a lot of credit there to Claudia Fernandez, because she is so calm and composed. She's an assassin, by the way. She's a really a smart player and savvy player, and she's really, really clever. So I want to give her a lot of credit.
Let me just say, though, in that 5-4 serving for the match, she hit 3 unforced errors to give that break right back.
She did.
To Delphi and Gemma.
She did, but then she bounced back.
Exactly. Yeah.
But then she did. So she is like, it's not that she is like a perfect player, but I like that she's a cool she's sometimes
very young.
She's still very young, like you said. She's still very young, and they dominate Delphi and Gemma. Like right now, the head-to-head is 5-3. So these are the world number 1s, and you have a 5-3 head-to-head against them, and it's like very, very weird. But 3 titles this season. The consistency, like you said, Yusuf, we want more consistency from them, but still, like they're still growing. And Bea Gonzalez successfully defended their title. She won it last year. She has great memories there, and now they continue to have great memories together in Dubai. It's something about Dubai. I don't know. Some guys, like they just really love the environment there. But this tournament, by the way, they were also came in playing more time than Delphi and Gemma. Like, they stayed 5 hours and 19 minutes on court going up into the final. So it was a lot of paddle that they were playing. So it's a lot of great problem solving that they had to do, and a lot of grinding that they had to do, and a lot of energy that they were really releasing there. So it was a great title run. They beat the best 2 players of the best two teams in the world. So a lot of great stuff, great upside going into the end of the season.
Yeah, fun stuff from them. You know, Bea's kind of reminding me like Alcaraz. She has like these high highs and these really low lows sometimes.
Like a young Alcaraz.
Yeah, young Alcaraz. Yeah, so she reached her final.
She's a vet, by the way. I heard a crazy stat today. This is her 10th professional season.
Wow,
as a paddle player.
Wow.
You know how old she is?
Yeah.
She's 23.
Wow, that's insane. Well, then she's on her way. She's a
veteran at 23.
That's incredible. And I think
Alcaraz is 22, by the way.
Yeah, I think she has some room to grow in that area. But you know, she's incredible. Her top level is just unplayable, and you know her stats, they were insane, right? Because she had 21 winners and 6 unforced errors. Like, she was by far way more winners and way less unforced errors than everyone. And, you know, it's a dominance that we're not used to seeing. And I think right now on the women's side, guys, we have a big three. We have a big three, which is fun. Which is fun to see that there is some high-level competition happening on the women's side. But sad for Ari and Paolo, because I was hoping to see a world number one race that gets tighter.
Yeah.
But it's not completely over, so let's see how it plays out.
Thanks to Bea and Claudia.
Yeah, thanks to Bea and Claudia.
Thanks to Bea and Claudia.
Well, guys, that was a very fun Dubai P1 tournament. But it is time for my favorite segment of every episode, and that is overreaction or not. I'm going to tell you something based on what happened this week, and you let me know. Is it an overreaction? Is it not? First off, Haroon, the fight for year-end world number one is now over. Overreaction or not?
This is the biggest overreaction so far. No, this is an overreaction. You can't count out greats. Great players can never be counted out, and also champions. So as long as they can fight on the court, as long as they're healthy, then there's always a chance. Like, this is for the men and women's side. The fight is still there, and this is a major coming up. So there's a lot of points that you can gain. So I think no, it's an overreaction for me.
Smite, overreaction or not?
Oh yeah, this is a completely overreaction because, you know, we're still in it. We have 2 big tournaments coming up, and anything goes, anything can happen. Chingalan dominates this head-to-head since the break. So no, this is an overreaction, Yusuf.
Yeah, I say this is also an overreaction because at the end of the Mexico major, Chingotto and Galan could be number one. Yeah. If they go on to win in Veracruz and they go on to win in Acapulco, it is going to be Chingalan at the top of the paddle world. So overreaction. It's
going to come down to the Barcelona finals.
Yeah, I do believe so too. Well, how about this one, Smail? Garrido and Campa deserve to be in the Barcelona Master Final. Overreaction or not?
Well, deserve is such a strong word. I mean, they're such a fun team. I am happy for their comeuppance here and to see them doing so well.
Yeah.
But no, they do not deserve. They have not been better than any of the top 16 players, so they do not deserve to be there, unfortunately.
Haroon, overreaction or not?
Deserve, it's tough. Because they're right at the brink there. There's lots of other good teams. So I think maybe Momo and Fran is right on the border for me. I think that they should swap maybe with Momo and Fran. However, Momo and Fran had a much more successful season overall. So even though you have some great success just as of late, I still don't think you deserve to be there. But I would like to see them because they're a fun team and they took down these big time guys. So it'll be fun to see because they have a chance. You know, they have a chance more than others.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Do they deserve to be there? No. Why do they deserve to be there? This is a celebration of what you've done the entire season. You don't have 3 good tournaments by the end of the season and we say, okay, you deserve to be there. There's a body of work that needs to be put in. And let's see what happens next year. They stick together, I would say. Stick together and you guys will be there. We love them. They're crowd favorites. But no, this is an overreaction. They do not deserve to be in the Barcelona Master Final. That's just fact. Well, how about this one, Smile? The team that we love, Collado and Hernandez will be a top 10 team by next season. Overreaction or not?
Ooh, top 10. Ooh, they've had some big wins now here. So they beat Yangos Nieto, right? They went final set with Augsburger Dineno. Like, these guys are here.
Took down Arroyo and Jofre, which is the seeded team.
Yeah, this is not an overreaction.
Took down Barahona and Garcia 1-1.
Yeah, no, this is not an overreaction. They are too good. And Collado is a beast. And if you want to beat top guys, you need a beast on the left and a grinder workhorse on the right. They seem to have good chemistry. They get along, I think.
Spanish national team together.
If they don't end up getting called up by some other big dogs soon, which completely could happen, but I think, Collado and Hernandez, they're too good to not be in the top 10 by next season. They definitely are higher than Inigo and Jofre, for example, for me by next year.
Those aren't top 10, but Haroon, overreaction or not?
This is not an overreaction, by the way. If you go and see the top 10, like the 10th best team, at least the seeded 10 team in the Mexico Major, that's Javi Barahona and Javi Garcia. And you just said they beat them 6-1, 6-1. So are they not a better team than those guys? So Javi Barahona and Javi Garcia made themselves a top 10 team by the Mexico Major, and I think Collado and Paul Hernandez could do the same thing. By the way, they're supremely talented, and they're still, by the way, still growing, and they're still developing. So the sky's the limit with these guys, and they prove that they can take down the big guns. And so it's not a hard task, by the way, for them, because they already proved that they could do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not an overreaction. This is a team that I love so much, by the way. I told you guys I've loved Collado since the Brussels P2, and I continue to love them. They continue to shine. I hope they stick together. This is a team that is capable of fighting with the best of the best. They're young. So many of the top players speak of Collado and Hernandez like this team is coming. These guys are world champions in their age group. And they're only going to grow, like you said, Smile. This is not an overreaction. 2026 is going to have a team that's going to be fighting for deep runs, and it starts with Guy Collado and Paul Hernandez.
And they're both ahead of Valentino back in the rankings right now.
Yeah, but Tino, because of
for an injury, but still, like, it tells you how high they've climbed.
Yeah, no, they're climbing. They're climbing. So I can't wait to see what happens there. Last one, Haroon. Ready for this one?
Let's go.
Garrido-Augsburger and Juan LeBron can win the Mexico Major next week. Overreaction or no?
Wow, that is crazy. This is not an overreaction, by the way. This is not an overreaction. Let me tell you why. Because they're a very high-powered team. They're bringing so much firepower to the table, and a lot of guys are not going to know what to expect. So, and they know how everybody plays. So they have all of the cards, and they're not showing any of theirs. So it's going to be really surprising for all of the other teams. So they could go, for sure, will go very deep. However, it's not an overreaction, so they could win it, but I don't think that it will happen. But it's not an overreaction.
Smite, overreaction or not?
This is definitely not an overreaction. You know I'm high on this team. You know I'm a believer in Augsburger, and this is the best pairing for LeBron. Both players have insane power. LeBron smashing better than he ever has. Both of them supremely creative. Their opponents are not going to know what hit them. They're also not going to know what to expect. They won't be able to handle this firepower. If they can be relatively consistent, have relatively good chemistry and body language, and both of them have proven they can easily adapt to other partners and have immediate success, I count on them. Augsburger and Dineno had immediate success. And maybe it's best when people don't know what's coming. So actually, I love this for them going into the major. Your turn.
Ready for this? I believe that this is not an overreaction. I don't think that was tough. That wasn't tough at all for me to. This is not an overreaction. Garrido-Augsburger and Juan LeBron have something to say, and everyone is going to be shaking, and they do not want these guys in their path. So this is not an overreaction. Juan LeBron and Augsburger have something to say in the Mexico Major, and we might see a surprise.
Yeah, we might. We very might. Yeah. Let's know what you think about those overreactions as well. And, you know, we like to keep it 100 and be transparent on this show and let you know where we were right, where we were wrong. Let's start off where we were wrong on the men's side. Yusuf, you and you guys had Chingalan. But Koy and Tapia came to play this tournament, so you were wrong there. Where we were right, I did call Koy and Tapia coming into this tournament. So I had a feeling the world number ones could bounce back. On the women's side, we were all wrong. Yeah. All three of us had Arian, Paula, and lo and behold, Bea and Claudia won. Yusuf, your favorite player. So we all got shocked and surprised by what happened on the women's side this tournament. So, well, let's see. We still have a couple more tournaments where we get to prove our connaissance.
Yes, we do. Okay, guys, time to make some picks. The Mexico Major going down in less than a week's time. The last major of the season. 2,000 points on the line. So I need to ask Ismail, who do you have winning the Mexico Major on the women's side?
I'm going to have to go with the best team at bouncing back, and that's Gemma and Delphi all year. They've earned their spot as world number ones. They've been the most consistent. They've bounced back from every loss, usually to win the title. So I really like this for them. I'm going to trust them. I think the conditions in Mexico might be good for Gemma. She's an aggressive player with a good smash. I like it going for her. I'm going with Gemma and Delphi, Yusuf.
Haroon, who are you going with?
I'm going for Ariane Paula. My intuition, my gut feeling just tells me to Ariane Paula. I feel like they had the closest match with Bea and Claudia. There was a final set. There was a very grinder of a match, and so I disagree with Smail. I'm going for Ariane Paula, and I think that Claudia and Bea, maybe that consistency there is still a problem for me. So that's what I'm going for.
You need to break it, Yusuf.
Yeah. You know, the team I'm going with is my favorite player on tour, and I think right now she's playing some amazing paddle, and her partner was able to find her level at the right time. Give me Bea and Claudia to win the Mexico Major and put their stamp on this season in another way. Wow. So we all have different champions. I think it's Bea and Claudia. You think it's Gemma and Delphi. Haroon thinks it's Ari and Paula. Who do you guys think is going to win?
Let's see.
But on the men's side, so much is at stake. Cuello and Tapia, can they secure the year-end world number 1 and win another major? Chingotto and Galan, can they maybe take the lead? LeBron-Augsburger and Juan LeBron, can they make their stamp on the entire tour within a week? So many predictions, but one that needs to be made, and that is, who do you have winning the Mexico Majors, Smail?
Yeah, 100%. I'm going with my boys, Augsburger and LeBron. You know this pair is made and built for the moment. LeBron needs a partner like Augsburger with this firepower. He's the only person that can match his intensity, his aggression, the proactive style that he wants to play. They're both super creative. Their opponents will not know what's coming. The conditions in Mexico are going to be perfect for them. Smashing as good as I've ever seen him, LeBron, right now. Both of them together, it's going to be a problem. They're not afraid of anyone or any moment. Give me Augsburger and LeBron for their first title as a pair together.
Haroon, who are you taking?
Wow. Smail, your glaze. I'm not going to fall for your glaze. I'm not going to fall under the hype train, the LeBurger hype train. No, I'm going for Chingalan. I think Chingalan have a lot to say. Chingalan are not going to lay down like that because Chingalan, when they lost that final today in Dubai, they felt that no, it's not over, and they weren't really depressed because I was waiting. How are they going to deal with it? Do they feel like they gave up? Is it over? No, these guys are never going to give up, and I'm going for Chingalan to lift the title and also make it a step closer into becoming world number 1.
Yusuf,
Smail, I was going to go with you, by the way. I was going to go with that pick.
You can join me on this pick. This is a pick that you're welcome to join. The whole world is waiting for this team.
You know, but I was going to make the fun pick. But as Haroon said, the game is to make the right prediction. And I agree with it sometimes, disagree with it most of the time. So my pick is going to be the team that deserves to end this season as year-end world number 1. The team that has shown us ever since they teamed up that they are the best on planet Earth. And Cuello and Tapia are going to win the Mexico Major to add another big title to their name and secure the year-end world number 1. I saw fire in Tapia's eyes. I saw fire in Cuello's eyes. And when they have that fire, I know something. I might not know much, but I know something. Do not bet against those two men. I'm not going to do it this tournament. I love Chingalan. I love what we're going to see from LeBron-Augsburger and Juan LeBron. But Cuello and Tapia are going to show us that they are the kings. They're going to secure the win, and they are going to secure the year-end world number 1 with it.
Well, you know, this is going to be the most fun major of the year.
Yes,
it's going to be the most fun, most on the line, most interesting stories with all these new pairs.
Agreed.
It's going to be so fun. Let us know who you think is going to win the Mexico Major. So many cool stories hopefully are going to come out of this tournament. I can't wait to discuss it all here when the major comes. And if you enjoyed this, go check out our recent interview with Coach David Howe, the Swedish national team head coach. So many interesting insights if you want to improve your own paddle game and your paddle IQ and what it's like coaching against Chingalan and Cuello Tapia. So many cool insights there. And also, if you enjoyed that, go check out our fun interview with Coach Nacho Porto. So many fun insights about how to improve your own game, how to think about paddle. And again, you're going to boost your paddle IQ points up a lot. You're going to love it. And subscribe so you can get all your paddle stories here. And we'll see you next week.
Vamos, vamos, vamos!